Hello everyone, my name is Cătălin Ionașcu, and today I'll present our paper Cascade Cyber Risk Management for Password Spray Attacks, Adaptive Network Analysis of AI Coaching. This work was conducted by Cătălin Constantin Ionașcu, Jan Trur, and Peter Rulovsma. We propose an adaptive network model that captures both system-level dynamics and the cognitive processes of cybersecurity employees responding to password spray attacks. A key feature of the presented model is the AI coach, designed to support employees by offering help only when needed, enhancing decisions without taking over. We compare two scenarios, one with the AI coach and one without, to show how AI support improves detection and lowers cyber risk. In the rest of this talk, I'll go over the background, model, simulations, and what-if analysis that highlight these findings. Let me start by explaining why password spray attacks pose such a significant cybersecurity challenge. Unlike traditional brute force attacks that target a single account with multiple password attempts, password spray attacks take a much more sophisticated approach. They use common passwords across many accounts to avoid lockout mechanisms and evade detection. The risks are substantial and cascading in nature. Account breaches, system crashes generated by CPU overload, information theft, and overwhelmed infrastructure. Traditional defenses alone are often not enough. The presented key insight, human factors like stress and awareness, greatly influence how well employees respond. When cybersecurity employees are under pressure, their judgment becomes impaired, learning processes deteriorate, and the likelihood of making critical mistakes increases. To address this, we developed an adaptive network model combining three components: system behavior, employee mental states, and an AI coach that monitors and selectively supports decision making. The model builds on shared mental model theory and adaptive support concepts from prior work by Rulovsma, Jaben, Tal, Trur, and Van Mentz, capturing the evolving over time of interplay of human and system dynamics through causal connections and contextual influences. Let's begin by examining the characteristics that make password spray attacks so dangerous. First, this represents an evolution beyond traditional brute force methods. Attackers use common passwords like password123 or summer 2023 across many accounts rather than trying multiple passwords on a single account. Second, they bypass lockout mechanisms by distributing their attempts. This avoids detection by traditional security systems that look for repeated failed attempts on individual accounts. Third, they exploit weak password practices in large organizations where statistically some users will inevitably use common passwords. The attack methodology follows a clear pattern. Reconnaissance involves network scanning and target identification. During the collection phase, attackers gather usernames and credential lists. Finally, during execution, they systematically attempt password entries across multiple accounts. These attacks present a significant challenge due to the cascading nature of cyber risks. Modern interconnected infrastructures create ripple effects when attacked. We see complex interdependencies between technology, humans, and organizations. Traditional monitoring systems struggle with these sophisticated prolonged attacks that can continue for weeks or months. This is why we need adaptive solutions. The dynamic threat landscape requires adaptive risk management frameworks. Network-oriented modeling provides powerful tools for understanding these complex cybersecurity phenomena, and temporal causal approaches can capture both structural relationships and dynamic interactions over time. Our scenario solution introduces an AI coach designed to enhance employee performance during cybersecurity incidents. We developed an adaptive network model that seamlessly integrates human AI decision making while respecting the employee's autonomy. The AI coach shares the same mental model as the employee, enabling it to monitor decisions in real time. It intervenes only when a potential mistake is detected, offering precise, context-aware insights without taking control away from the human. This targeted support strengthens detection accuracy, lowers organizational risks, and fosters continuous learning during high-pressure attack scenarios. The presented model of the scenario for this paper follows the principles of adaptive network modeling as described in TRUR 2018-2020, showing an approach that emphasizes the capacity of systems to evolve in response to external stimuli, placing particular importance on the role of adaptivity in dynamic environments. This modeling methodology structures the system as a temporal causal network that consists of interconnected nodes, also called states, such as X and Y, where each state represents a specific variable or process and evolves over time in response to causal influences from other states. The mentioned influences are defined by connections between X and Y, with the activation of each state X and Y reflecting its current status at time t. The adaptive network model has three core characteristics. First, connectivity characteristics determine how strongly different states influence each other through connection weights. Second, aggregation characteristics use combination functions to determine how multiple influences combine to affect a given state. The mathematical representation shows how impacts from multiple states are aggregated using combination functions. Third, timing characteristics determine the speed with which states adapt to changes through speed factors. The differential equation shows how state activation levels change over time based on the aggregated impact they receive. What makes this particularly powerful is the adaptivity aspect. Not only do state activation levels change over time, but the network characteristics themselves can adapt. This is achieved through self-modeling mechanisms, where adaptive characteristics like connection weights are represented by higher order states. Two types of combination functions were used in the model to capture different behavioral patterns. The advanced logistic sum function, allogistic, was applied to the majority of states to represent gradual and continuous belief formation, learning, and decision-making processes. This function allows for smooth transitions based on input strength with tunable steepness and threshold parameters. In contrast, the step mode function was used for specific states such as the attack state and information feed state to model periodic occurrences. These states activate in a binary fashion at regular intervals, simulating how certain cyber events or updates appear repeatedly over time. Together, these functions allow the model to represent both continuous and periodic dynamics accurately. Let me walk you through the conceptual design of the adaptive network model shown here. The model is structured across three layers. The first one, base level, the pink layer, this includes both world level and mental level states. World level states include the attack state, which occurs periodically, organization policies such as MFA and network access policies, and key system indicators like failed log account and access pattern, and external influences such as negative feedback, representing feedback from the organization after employee mistakes, and intelligence feeds that consist of trusted information sources regarding password spray attacks, like FBI reports. The right yellow block represents the mental level that include attitude and context states from X24 until X29, which are the employee mental interpretations of the system level indicators such as unusual access pattern, high authentication requests. These shape belief formation, belief of no attack and belief that there is an attack ongoing, and these beliefs guide decisions, such as the decision of IP filtering followed by its immediate action of IP filtering, in the categories of actions displayed here. No action taken may lead to accounts breach, X13, which leads to negative feedback and stress. On the left green block is the AI coach having the same mental structure and weight states as the employee, using states X39 and X55 to simulate ideal reasoning and decisions. First order adaptation level, the blue layer, this level contains the employee weight W states that govern learning and forgetting. Stress state affects negatively the learning weights of the employee, making him to forget or to act inaccurately, and the stress factor, which comes from an accounts breach generated by the employee's mistakes, deteriorates the learning of the employee. AI coach weights X64 and X69 are fixed at perfect settings. Knowledge transfers from the AI coach to the employee. Monitoring states X70 until X74 compare the decisions of the employee with those of AI. If misalignment is detected, it triggers support. Finally, the third layer, the second order adaptation level, the purple layer, this includes the WWW states from X75 until X79, which determine when the AI coach intervenes. They only activate if the monitor states are triggered, offering help only when needed. This ensures autonomy for the employee while still providing adaptive support. To explore the model's behavior, several simulation experiments were performed using the dedicated software environment described in TRUR 2020 Chapter 9. After the development of the model, two situations were simulated, one excluding the presence of the AI coach from the model, and the other one incorporating the presence of the AI coach in the model, keeping all the parameters with the same values and trying to make a comparative analysis. This plot presents the simulation that has the AI coach component deactivated, illustrating the dynamic behavior of all states. The plot shows that mitigation decisions and corresponding actions are activated in response to fluctuations in the system-level indicators and tend to stabilize after several attack frames, yet the resulting stability remains fragile and inconsistent. It can be observed that the attitude, X23, blue line, is increased during the periods of intelligence feeds, X12, the green line, whereas it declines when the following periods of negative feedback are given by the organization. Moving to the next plot. Here are illustrated the simulation results of the case where the AI coach tool is incorporated. The presence of the AI coach brings noticeable differences in the evolution of several states. The AI coach W states can be seen as a straight line with activation values 1 constantly. Additionally, the activation patterns of the monitor states are visible and the WWW states, responsible for controlling the communication between the AI coach and the employee, are represented by the triangular spikes in the middle section of the plot. Overall, this simulation reveals a more stable and sustained adaptive response. To highlight the most important aspect of the simulation, the simplified plot displays the key elements of the scenario, without the AI coach component activated. The plot shows the belief attack detect state, X31, illustrated as the yellow line, which rises during periods when an attack is recognized. A central aspect is the behavior of the selected employee learning state, X58, depicted as the orange line. This W state models the adaptive connection between the context state unusual access pattern, X26, and the belief in an ongoing attack, X31. Initially, the learning weight state increases from the first attack frame and stabilizes after the third. However, a decline follows as the employee fails to take appropriate action, leading to an accounts breach, X13, represented by the light blue line, triggering the emergence of stress, X21 shown as the red line, which impairs the employee's cognitive state, causing distraction, forgetfulness, and diminished awareness. As a result, the W state value begins to drop, reflecting the deterioration of the learning under pressure. From around time step 1200 onward, stress events become more frequent, further overwhelming the employee and significantly reducing the effectiveness of the adaptive learning process. The last plot presents the simulation focused on the unusual access pattern case, this time with the AI coach included. The WWW state, X76, responsible for managing the transfer of knowledge to the employee W state, is illustrated as the light blue triangular line. Notably, the monitoring state for evaluating IP filtering decisions, X71, activates, triggering the WWW state. The AI coach's intervention becomes visibly traceable through the WW line. As a result of this targeted support, the employee's learning W state demonstrates significantly improved stability compared to the previous scenario, no longer having its activation values dropping to almost zero. Instead, it exhibits only small fluctuations, where the activation values do not fall below 0.8, being rapidly corrected. The comprehensive analysis focused on two critical what-if scenarios, comparing system performance with and without AI coach support. Both analyses explore the effects of varying employee learning speed and detection threshold on the detection of unusual access patterns and the formation of attack beliefs. The results are striking. Without the AI coach, we found a 60% chance of failed detection, with risk concentrated in two primary conditions: low learning combined with low threshold, accounting for 42% of failures, and low learning with high threshold, responsible for 18%. The overall risk score was 6.6. With the AI coach enabled, detection success rises dramatically to 88%. The AI component corrects poor belief formation in real time, reducing the failure rate to just 12%. This improvement lowers the overall risk score to 3.72, a 45% reduction in total cyber risk. The key takeaway is clear. Traditional approaches depend heavily on human cognitive capabilities, which are prone to degradation under stress or overload. By contrast, AI support strengthens decision making, relieves cognitive strain, and significantly enhances threat detection. What makes this particularly valuable is that the AI coach doesn't override human decisions, it complements them. It preserves autonomy while delivering targeted assistance precisely when it matters most. The research successfully combined adaptive network-oriented modeling with AI-guided decision support for password pre-attack mitigation. Additionally, this work focused on a human-centered approach that explicitly incorporates stress-induced cognitive degradation and belief formation processes. We've developed AI support through an AI coach that preserves employee autonomy while providing timely interventions. This has practical impact in several key areas: enhanced detection accuracy, improved decision making under high pressure conditions, and demonstrated effectiveness of human AI collaborative defense. The practical applications are significant. Organizations can adopt this approach to strengthen their cybersecurity posture while maintaining human agency in critical decisions. The AI coach concept can also be extended to other cybersecurity domains where decision making under stress plays a critical role. Nonetheless, several limitations should be acknowledged. The current model focuses on a single employee role, while real-world organizations involve multiple interacting agents, such as IT administrators, operational employees, and managers, with varying responsibilities and levels of cybersecurity awareness. Future work could expand the model to capture these organizational dynamics. In addition, the current what-if analysis focused on a single system-level indicator. Further analysis could incorporate a broader set of indicators and policy variations while also investigating long-term training effects and adaptive fatigue modeling to understand system behavior over extended timeframes. Thank you very much for your attention. This was the presentation for the paper Cascade Cyber Risk Management for Password Spray Attacks, Adaptive Network Analysis of AI Coaching.